Hey everyone, we are almost ready to go. Actually, that worked out pretty damn well. Thanks to Zombie Grub's Middle Nipple for the 15-month resub.
Thank God for Zombie Grub's middle nipple. I don't know where we would be without Zombie Grub's middle nipple.
Here's the
Zombie
thing.
Grub's middle nipple.
Here's the thing, okay?
Middle nipple.
Sometimes there's Twitch subs that, you know, they're made because of recent events, right? Like, If Only Queens had more range, right? Or 200 subs for that one day that we got a lot of subs. Zombie Grub's Middle Nipple actually came out of nowhere. Like, he started this thing. Nothing else started it, and then he, like, took advantage of it. He was the starter.
Isn't that just how most middle nipples kind of work, though?
I wouldn't know. I actually don't have one.
It just come out of nowhere. It's not like you tried to grow it. It's not like you applied some sort of, like, mixture to the middle of your chest. And it was like, great, now just wait for it to grow.
It's true. Here we are in a best of 3 now. In the bottom right, as the blue Protoss, he is super.
And his opponent just took out one Korean in a best of 3. We'll see if he can make it 2. It's going to be the red Protoss Tarrantius. Now, just going back on this, there's a lot of elements of home field advantage for Tarrantius, obviously. This is the European server. You've got Koreans coming here. It's the Koreans that are going to lag, not Tarrantius. But that aside for the moment, again, he's not a bad player. We've cast him in many cups. He's certainly not somebody I see finishing top 4 a lot of the time, but I know that he has the potential to do. We'll see if the momentum can be held, or if that was just like a once-off good game versus Tails. Because there were mistakes made out of Tails that game, for certain.
Oh, yeah. I would hope that's actually a warm-up game. I'd say Tarrantius didn't have the perfect game. Noting all of his supply blocks seems very like, oh, he's just waking up or something like that. I think he does need to step it up if he's going to face versus Super. Tails has been kind of... I don't know, I'll probably never meet the guy, right? So there's like not too much of a reason to be like super careful what I talk about him, but we like Tails because he participates in so much. He was a decent Protoss. He was actually a really good one back in the day, but he has just been that like warm-up Korean, you know? Like if you got a little bit of jitters because someone has a Korean tag to the description, you face him first and then you go to Super and you're a little bit more calm about it. Just unfortunate that Tails has never, I guess, regained the former glory, but if he is just casual, then I don't think he cares that much. Just a filthy casual. Our Super has actually been performing pretty damn well. I mean, he's actually won one of our tournaments, another tournament that we ended up casting. Did okay in Ting Season 2.
Yeah, I like Super. He also, in the Olima League, is regularly one of the only people that can take out Byun. I mean, that's got to say a lot for you.
Yeah, well, Protoss, you know.
Or maybe your Rays, yeah.
Yeah,
one or the other, if not both.
Yeah.
He does open Stalkers, though, I want to point that out. So a couple of those coming in. Or, excuse me, follows up with Stalkers is what I meant to say.
Yep.
So his own adepts may be intended to kill, I don't know. But I do think that it's almost at this point like a necessity to go for 2 adepts in your opening. If not to kill your opponent's probes, at least to fend off the adepts that are coming to kill yours. Because if you don't, we'll have what happened last game. Tails lost 5 workers at the start of the game. And it was kind of for nothing.
Tarrantius was looking around, not sure for what, probably just a probe waiting to put on a proxy pound or something like that with his adepts, as opposed to transferring his own adepts over. So sometimes you see, like, exchanges of like 2 to 4 probes killed for both parties because they open up exactly the same way. But not necessarily here. Super actually does not go for the transfer in. He's caught actually by Tarrantius' transfer after his adepts. He's going to trade the adepts, it looks like. The follow-ups are pretty different. Nexus, very similar timing, but Tarrantius went for double Sentry, whereas Super went for Toilet Council and a Robo. I want to say the Sentries, like, Sentries are never useless, right? Like, a couple Force Fields can really, they can cut off 2 Stalkers, that can be a pretty big deal. On the defense, they have Force Fields, obviously, that's a pretty big deal on the defense, but so many things are on the defense that I want to say Super is maybe feeling a little more confident in the matchup for being already on the aggressive, and Tarrantius, he also did that scouting with his adepts as opposed to running across the map. He may be the one playing a little bit scared here, and Super might be able to take advantage of that, like a faster third base or just faster tech or something like that. And he is getting faster tech, of course, with the Toilet Council already being finished.
So I know you can't really join in on this discussion, but I love JD Toss and chat bringing up the problems he has with the Bud Light commercials on Twitch. First thing to state, guys, is we don't get to control commercials on Twitch. The only thing we get is to press a button that says play them. But not that that's what he's complaining about. The Bud Light commercials are actually really bad. I know that they're trying to really get into Twitch and streaming, and they've even had a couple of front page features. But holy shit, I am not interested in this like Bud Light, Bud Life, Party Life. Like it's so fake and it's so frustrating watching some of these commercials. They're not funny. I don't like them.
They try to be funny.
Yeah. The Beanboozled ones were kind of cringy, but at least they were a little bit silly. I think my favorite ones of all time though were like the Xbox, the Xbox One ones, especially with that Rocky Sylvester Stallone quote going in the middle of it. Switch has had some good commercials. Switch has had some bad commercials, and I feel like the Bud Light ones all fall into the bad commercials.
Yeah, I wish I could bond over commercials, y'all. But I can't.
She's got Twitch Turbo, by the way, not ad block. So Zomgrub is confirmed still a good person. Well, at least in this regard.
Thanks. Dedicated to the main base, while Twitch Overcharge was supposed to take care of them, I think there's it just took a little bit too long, so 7 probes went down. These ones did not bother sticking around for too long, rather keep the Warp Prism. They do have Resonant Glaives while that attack happened, so just, that was actually pretty well done. But Tarrantius might be playing a little defensive, but actually sees an opportunity here. He knows that Adepts were just killed, right? So that's a little bit of army. He actually saw Super's build and probably figured that he would have fewer army units to defend, where Tarrantius was going a little bit more harder on them. For instance, Tarrantius would have a second Immortal should he have waited for this one, but Dep's coming in once again, gonna force an overcharge. Not too big of a deal, and Tarrantius will go in here with the Guardian Shield. There's a lot of folks in overcharges, however. Yeah, he's not going to be able to get the revenge that he would want. There's a second Immortal for Super. As an Observer. Is that a Warp Prism? It is a Warp Prism. I mean, Tarrantius can continue, this aggression, but he's always going to be careful about, Super as well, the Warp Prism, sending in Adepts. I mean, Super knows that Mothership Core is running out of energy, as does Tarrantius on the front line here, but the difference is advantage works in multiple ways, and he's just not even gonna...
Yeah, and he was also having his minerals picked apart while that went on, or at least started to, and I think knowing he had no defense, that's just not going to go well. 2 Immortals to 1, all that good stuff, just everything going better for Super right there at the end of the game. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a bit bold, though, because Tarrantius was still up, I think, 10 army supply, but it was just, the defense advantage would have kicked in some way, some form. He would have lost. It is going to be his map choice now. King Sejong Station. Oh, I've been craving sushi for the past, 4 days, and I got, that really bad sushi, you remember? For the double cast. I just want really, really good sushi. But I also don't want to pay for it. You think between now and dinner, I could get a online date set up for sushi? Just never talk to the guy again after?
You are turning into such a horrible human being. One DreamHack Montreal and you're like this. It's ridiculous. You're not the person I thought I knew, Zombie Grove.
Yeah. I actually feel really uncomfortable when the guy, really, forces himself to pay for me. Okay, I guess, if you really want to.
That's why you gotta pretend to use the bathroom, walk away, and secretly pay.
Ah, that's what you do, right?
Yeah.
Smooth.
It goes back to, I just want to make other people happy, man. Pay for people's dinner, yay.
And then you talk awkwardly with the Asian mom that's there.
She calls me fat? Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes every restaurant we go to. Yep. Not just that one. Damn if that place wasn't awesome, and I'll go back every time still nonetheless, though. But okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Game 2 here for the Corsair Cup. Again, quick shout outs to Corsair, our wonderful sponsors. They're some of the nicest people. Second nicest, I'll say, because Choice for Gaming has my heart. It's number 1. But second nicest people we know, and of course, really great sponsors. Make sure to check out all the links down below on the page. Look at their gear. I can't really personally sell you on much other than the headset. The gear is all good. I love the Rapid Fire K70 keyboard I got. The mouse is amazing, but the headsets are just the bomb. I've never, and I fear I never will find a better headset than these. So absolutely recommend checking them out. And I'm sure if anyone in chat has a pair of the Void headsets, specifically the wireless ones, you can vouch for how cool they are. But in the top left, he's down 1 game. It's going to be the red Protoss player, Tarrantius. Tarantula. Ugh.
Tarantulas are cute. In the bottom right, as the blue Protoss, he is super.
Hypothetical. 7-foot tall tarantula. Drooling with venom. Is that still cute?
Do they drool with venom? Pretty sure they
7 foot tall ones might. You don't know.
only use it in their
When you scale something that large, they gotta have something in their biology change, or maybe they just overproduce venom.
Depends on if it wants to kill me or not. Usually tarantulas aren't looking to kill you. So, if it just wants to be a buddy, a friend.
Typically, tarantulas aren't 7 foot tall and have power and dominance over you.
So what you're saying is that it's a completely different animal because it's 7 foot tall.
No, it's the
Or
same animal,
arachnid.
but it's 7 foot tall.
No. You're talking about biology differing and their mental state differing. Like, nah, it's different. They still got those cute
like,
little
10
pink
times
toes.
Phosphor.
There's actually a really, 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 really bad movie with David Arquette or whoever that guy is called like. I actually forget what it's called, but it's about basically huge spiders taking over their town.
No, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Alright, Proxy Stargate coming out of Tarrantius. Now, the Adepts from Super might get a little annoying before this gets a chance to get underway, but the pylon placement out of Super I already really like. There's just an option on any side of the mineral line to pop that overcharge if necessary.
Yeah.
I am worried, though. I hope Super doesn't do the thing Mana does, where he sends that Mothership Core across the map really early in hopes of getting some free probe kills.
Exactly. I mean, I saw the rally forward and I was a little worried. But it
That's
looks
what I
like
saw,
it was-
too.
It looks like it was just, I don't know, probably what he does, I guess, to rally his Mothership Core. I'm actually necessarily mean he's going to go for it. Shades take care of the probe, and he will be getting a Nexus, as he has a pretty safe opener here. Very, very similar to last game. And the Oracle should not do any damage. He'd really have to not be looking to get more than 4 probe kills, I want to say. Depths meet each other in the middle of the map. Tarrantius will want to shade back home, I do believe, to chase these. And then he just stops awkwardly. Okay, that actually might work out in favor of Super. We'll see. Oh, because 2 Adepts are just going to pop. Okay. If these are Stalkers popping, they do take a little bit of time to chase down the Adepts, right? But the Adepts actually ended up being perfectly timed. These are the Stalkers for Super that Tarrantius could have tried to shade past. A little bit late on it. 4 probes go down. That should be just about what the Oracle gets. Maybe not even, because Tarrantius went through the Stalkers. He did force out with an overcharge for the Adepts, which was the entire purpose of his Adepts running in here, but he gave Super such advanced notice. There was a small opportunity for him to skirt the edges and get a few probes. Doesn't get any now. Does get rid of all the motion core energy, however, and 2 Stalkers will not be enough against 2 Oracles.
Yeah, I like the accusation in chat that you'd be a gold digger when really I think it would be limited to sushi digger.
Sushi digger.
I get 10 times more see you like go on a fake date with a guy to get Korean barbecue or sushi than actually to get money.
Hell yeah.
You're like, oh, you get $10,000? I mean, can we get $10,000 worth of sushi?
That sounds amazing. Kidding me? I actually went to this all-you-can-eat Korean barbecue that was actually more like, I don't know, like Chinese people were running it, so it wasn't really like authentic Korean barbecue. But they had all-you-can-eat sushi, and that makes anything great. Alright, double Oracle in the main base. Like I was saying, 2 Stalkers, not really enough to take care of it, but there is now a Photon Overcharge. Gonna pop that one.
It's the only
Right
one,
away.
though, and he realized that, too. With the Stalkers being here, they get a choice. Stop the Oracles or stop the Adepts. Actually, he can probably kill all those Stalkers pretty easily, especially with the Oracle DPS adding into it. But goes for probes instead with a bit of that focus fire, and Adepts just kind of distracting the Stalkers for the time being. Not really the most efficient way to get probe kills, and he doesn't actually get enough from this to really make this worth it, I feel.
Yes, 8 probes. Okay, the last Adept shot right there.
For the cost of like 5 Adepts and an Oracle.
Yeah, I would say not worth either, because look at the army supply. Super does have a scary amount of Stalkers that actually have Blink, too.
Yeah, and I like that he identifies this as his time to shine. He starts moving out with them instead of playing scared inside his own mineral lines.
Mm-hmm. This Oracle is gonna, I mean, again, it's gonna force down, like, what, 2 Stalkers here, and that's something. That's something, but... Photon Overcharge on the defense. Sentries available. Wait a second. Oh, he didn't have a militia core. Never mind. Oh, okay. No reason for the pylons then. Gets the sentry, gonna blink back, and this is a big, big problem. Of course, Super sees all this with the Observer. He knew this is gonna work out.
I mean, Tarrantius is close to getting Immortals out, but that's not going to cut it. The Mothership Core comes down, but 1 Overcharge. Not going to do much against Stalkers that can blink away from it. Right, just going to focus the Mothership Core down, probably just blink away. Nope, okay, actually could have got that if he wanted to, but didn't want to play it too risky. Don't blame him. In the main, Stalkers will kill that Oracle, so no chance for Tarrantius here as Super takes a third base behind all of this.
Yeah. A little surprised he backed off with the Blink Stalkers because, again, he has his Observer just seeing everything. You know, whether an Immortal's about to pop out, which it is technically, but he probably could have sniped a couple more sentries knowing that the Mothership Core was not going to have any energy. There he goes coming back now, but exactly as the Immortal pops out, timing's missed. I get a couple of probes. I guess that isn't bad. Blink allows you a lot of opportunities like that. Well, the third base is a better solution, I suppose, than endangering your army. Just get further ahead and keep your army on the front lines. This Observer really is going to be quite annoying because it's also going to provide this high ground vision. And Tarrantius now is going to build an Observer, realizing what's happening. But... Ooh, Mothership Core, you supposed to die? You did die. You did.
Why are you saying that like someone from the south ready to serve me some chicken waffles and fries?
You did. I don't know, because it's funny. Why do you speak in accents randomly all the time?
I'm not the one on trial here.
Okay, another sentry goes down, I believe. My cat just pushed something over.
I heard it sounded like a CD case from the 90s fell
We're
over.
gonna watch this attack happen.
Alright, well while that happens, I'll try and provide a little bit of play-by-play as we follow the sentry around.
Push my Hydralisk over. Damn it, cat.
Little dick.
Yeah, seriously, that Hydralisk, if it wasn't 2 inches tall, would be able to murder you.
I'll have a little bit extra range after the patch.
Yeah. This is probably the most disappointing thing I've ever bought from the Blizzard store, to be honest. I really didn't think it would be this tiny. It's a super tiny Hydralisk. Anywho, pretty similar armies, actually, but of course that's not a good thing, as Super also managed to fit into a third base and a couple more probes. Tarrantius really is just hoping to get something done for this army. He's going to be facing actually an even more powerful one as time goes on. More depths coming in, they're going to have Resonating Glaives. In fact, Super has all the upgrades over Tarrantius. And all Tarrantius can do is, I guess, hope to overpower him with numbers, getting more gateways right now. A little bit dangerous from Super to go down the ramp like that, but the sentries are mostly used up from combination dying and trying to defend, and looks like this should be the game over for Tarrantius. Warp has been going to go down, tries to do some micro with the Immortals, not going to help out too much.
And meanwhile, his Immortals are getting focused by Super's Immortals. I mean, Super's Immortals haven't even taken any damage, just the barrier being popped the first time. Not so good. I mean, the fight was a decent scrap fest, but I think for this, there's an army remaining, there's a third base up, there's just no way Super loses this game.
There is not, no. Tarrantius, I think he knows it too. Does he know about the third base? Well, that he doesn't know about, so maybe he thinks he's a little bit more in the game than he really is. It's not. It's game over. Thanks to Asgari for the 2-month resub.
Hype! Yeah, so the winner of this will go on to fight against Billowy, actually. So it looks like Super versus Billowy in a Korean versus Korean match. It's a tough choice, though, because we could actually get a pretty nice high-level Korean PvP or swap over for, like, some TVZ action. I think Alive and Strange in the PvP has already begun looking at the brackets, but a Laser still waits for possibly Keen.
Well, both would be good for me, actually. You don't get to cast that much PvP. So it would be fine.
Yeah, I'm cool with what it is.
Super. Finish him! End him.
Actually, since you've got the ability to do this and I do not, while this game slowly comes to a close, you should totally make a straw poll and see if people want to see which one they want to see. And then we can just go off of that. Please the masses, as it were.
Alrighty then. I'm gonna do that here.
Meanwhile, in perfect unison, the Adept and Stalker volleys actually look really cool. Unfortunately, though, for Tarrantius, it does look like this will be the end of his run. GG gets called, and Super takes it with a 2-0.
Did that automatically clipboard? No, it did not automatically clipboard. Womp womp.
Looking to get carried by the clipboard. So lazy.
I really, really am.
Sushi digging, clipboard having, no good, ragamuffin you may be.
Sushi digging. Sushi digging.
Actually,
wish.
sushi digging sounds terrible because it just sounds like you're digging in the ground for sushi like truffles. Oh, let's blow off the dirt. This one looks delicious.
Okay. So while we get that straw poll set up, we're gonna go to a break and we'll come back with whatever match you guys choose. Oh my god.